Okay, so it's coming up to Christmas, and I just thought I'd share one of my experiences as a community care worker. Working in care at Christmas is probably the saddest thing I've ever seen for some people. I've never worked in care before, so the first Christmas that I worked was a proper eye opener. So one year I was it was the day that I worked, so obviously a day that I work and I had to work it, even though it was Christmas Day. So I went to one gentleman to do the wake up call, 7 o'clock, which means you go in there, you get them up, you get them dressed, you feed them or give them breakfast. So I go into him, wake him up. Happy Christmas, there I am with me tinsel and me Christmas hat on. Happy Christmas, blah, blah. Get him up, give him a wash, put on his best Christmas jumper, all nice clothes like your Sunday best. And yeah, breakfast. I tidied up, made the beds and that. So I said to him, you're going to be really busy today. You have loads of visitors. So we decided we were going to lay out some little nibbles in that, little snacks in that. So this gentleman has 4 visits a day: breakfast call, wake up call, lunch, a tea call and a bed call. So I was going back in the evening to do the bed call. So I said, have a lovely day. I'll see you tonight and I'll hear all about it. Now, bearing in mind, this gentleman had 4 children and 15 grandchildren, and he had lost count of how many great-grandchildren he had. So then I go on to the next call. So anyway, it goes back in the evening, and he sat there in the dark, which was his choice, watching the TV. So I go in, turn the light on, and he's sort of dozing in the chair. I'm like, oh, how was your day? And then I look at the table with all the little nibbles and snacks that we'd put out in the morning, and none of them had been eaten. He had seen nobody other than the carers. Not one person. A neighbour had popped in and she'd been really good. She was his point of call, like our point of call. If there was anything wrong and we needed anything, we'd ring her. Not any of his children, the neighbour. She had popped in and spent a little bit of time with him. But none of his family. Not one of his 4 children. Not one of his 15 grandchildren. Not even a fucking phone call. I was absolutely crushed for him. What can you say? What can you say in those situations? Anyway, we clear it all up and I put him to bed. We had a laugh and a joke, and he was tried to make light of it, they're all really busy and blah, blah, blah. And I thought there was just absolutely no excuse for it. No excuse whatsoever for treating somebody that way, even a phone call. And do you know what? He passed away not long after. None of his family were with him when he passed. One of our staff members were with him. And do you know what? I was there. I went. He was my first call. He was my morning call. And when I got there, he had just passed. But somebody had sat with him, and the neighbour was there when he passed. None of his family. And we phoned the daughter to say she'd passed. He'd passed. And within an hour, 5 of his grandchildren turned up. So angry. So angry. So what I'm saying is, please, if you know somebody that's on their own at Christmas, or you've got an elderly relative, because I have got hundreds of stories about Christmas and the elderly, and they're all absolutely heartbreaking. Please, just give them a ring. Just pop in for 20 minutes. You ain't got to stay long. They're just lonely. They just want to see someone. Absolutely heartbreaking.